Sandra Wisdom Martin, Executive Director of the Women's Missionary Union, for a report.
Never heard the words, the Great Commission.
Wait just a minute. The mic's not on.
Test. Still not. Okay. We do want them to hear us. Hello? We're on. Okay. According to Barna Research, 51% of churchgoers have never heard the words, the Great Commission. 6% are not sure if they have heard the words. Another 25% have heard the words, but they can't recall the exact meaning. This leaves only 17% of churchgoers who have heard the words and know their meaning. How is that possible? The Great Commission is our great mandate, and it is the center of all we teach, promote, and do, making disciples of Jesus who live on mission.
At WMU, we live out the Great Commission by calling Baptists to generosity. We believe in supporting missions. Hurricane Maria is regarded as the worst natural disaster on record for Puerto Rico. WMU sent $186,000 worth of water filters for our Pure Water, Pure Love ministry. David Melber, president of NAM Send Relief, said, "Words simply are not enough to express appreciation for WMU's partnership in Puerto Rico."
We teach the children in our missions organizations to be generous. One leader messaged us about a girl in her class. God redeemed this little girl's father. He is a former incarcerated drug dealer. Now he is totally sold out to Jesus. He's raising his daughter as a single parent. 4 years ago, his daughter was homeless and traumatized. She would stay curled up in the classroom corner, hiding under her coat and backpack. Today, she is a beautiful young woman who wants to be a level 3 missionary. During the Annie Armstrong Easter offering, she brought $75 she earned herself to give. Her leader said it was so humbling because the family was struggling financially. The little girl told the leader that her father sent $300 to the IMB during the Lottie Moon Christmas offering and received a handwritten letter back. It meant the world to them.
We believe in challenging the stewardship of Christ's followers. Since beginning the Lottie Moon Christmas offering in 1888, WMU has helped raise $4.3 billion through this effort. From 1907, when official reporting began for the Home Missions offering, started by WMU, receipts total $1.7 billion. Last year was the largest offering on record for Annie Armstrong. This $6 billion has gone directly to the boards to support field personnel as they share the gospel. And we rejoice that we have a part in calling people to steward the resources that God has entrusted to their care.
The Kerns are your missionaries. They are serving in Utah. They were our featured missionaries in September. Stacy mentioned that she enjoys baking, so mission groups began sending her boxes of brownie and cake mix. By the time the story was printed, the Kerns had moved. Boxes began to show up at their old address. A former neighbor told Stacy the new resident was upset with all the boxes they were receiving. Stacy went to meet him and pick up the boxes. In the course of the conversation, Stacy discovered that the man was a baker. She asked, "Surely you bake from scratch?" The man confessed he used mixes. Knowing what had to be in the boxes, she said, "Open one of them." The man did so and found cake mix after cake mix after cake mix. Stacy told him he could keep that box of mixes. Now she has an open door to build relationships and share Christ in one of the toughest missions fields in North America because mission groups sent boxes of cake mix. We believe in supporting missions and helping our missionaries.
And at WMU, we live out the Great Commission by praying for missions. It's amazing how much God guides our work months in advance. On March 31st, our Missionary of the Week was Barbara Springer. Nearly 90,000 were mobilized to pray specifically for Barbara because of this feature. Little did we know how important those prayers would be. That same week, Barbara and Jeff were involved in a serious traffic accident. 1 month ago, after multiple surgeries, Barbara and Jeff were able to once again hold hands and walk together. We believe in prayer.
Christina, a new believer in Singapore, moved to New York with her not yet believer husband. Debbie, a WMU leader from Arkansas, visited with her while on a mission trip to New York. Because of prayer, Debbie was able to connect Christina with one of our churches. Prayers will continue for Christina to get plugged in, make new friends, and be discipled, and for Christina's husband to meet and accept Jesus personally. We believe in praying for missions.
And at WMU, we live out the Great Commission by doing missions. 8-year-old Landon Keller went with his family and his church family to serve in WMU's Family Fest in Kentucky. As the gospel was presented, Landon recognized his need to surrender to Christ. Later, he told his mother, "I went to Kentucky to tell people about Jesus, but I'm the one who got him." We believe in doing missions and sharing our faith.
Carol had a wonderful job, but she felt God had something else for her to do. She surrendered and searched. She ended up leaving her lucrative role at a law firm and took an 85% pay cut to begin a Christian Women's Job Corps program, a ministry of WMU, helping women gain life skills and job skills in a Christian context. She has unbelievable peace and purpose, and she tells people her new job benefits are out of this world. We believe in doing missions and sharing our faith.
Nancy and her husband were called to serve and share the gospel in an unlikely setting. So twice a year they travel abroad to teach people photography to Syrian refugees so they have a way to earn a living. And Nancy and Jim have a way to share Christ. During the evening hours, Jim and Nancy are graciously invited into the homes of students. And while enjoying delicious food and sweet tea and strong coffee, Jim and Nancy listen to their stories and share the love of Christ, ending with a prayer for peace and hope in their hearts. M and H became believers while M was a student in their class. During a recent visit, another man showed them a picture that he had drawn of a man on a cross with 2 crosses on either side. And he told Nancy and Jim that he had seen it in his mind. We believe in doing missions and sharing our faith.
A team of women from Illinois went to serve in South Asia, where our personnel and their national partners go to the slums and work with the poorest of the poor. What they make, WMU sells. When the team arrived, information was discovered that the name of one of the national partners was on a hit list circulating around the city. The question was asked, do you want to stay and continue to serve, or should we play it safe and rearrange our schedules? How would you answer that question? The team spent the night crying out to God. They knew their brothers and sisters in this country faced this kind of persecution every day. The verse, "For me to live is Christ and to die is gain," took on new meaning. The next morning, the team decided they would continue as planned, going out to the villages in spite of the risk. By the end of the experience, the team saw 33 people come to know Christ. Yes, we believe in missions and sharing our faith.
And at WMU, we live out the Great Commission by learning about missions. There are many good programs for preschoolers, children, students, and youth, but we tell the stories of Southern Baptist missionaries. Grace Thornton tells the story of one of our IMB missionaries in our upcoming WMU emphasis book, Unshakable Pursuit. The little group had been walking for miles with dusty feet and sore backs and heavy backpacks that were only feeling heavier by the minute. They had been only getting the littlest bit of response to any conversation they had that day as they walked village to village in a remote part of Africa, telling people about Jesus in a place where accepting him could make you a social outcast or even get you killed. They thought it might be time to go home. Almost. They compared thoughts and tired legs and felt compelled to go to that one last house in the distance. And in that compulsion, they trudged on. As they approached, a man with a wide smile stepped out to greet them. "Come in," he said, "I fixed you dinner." As they entered the house, they realized that a meal had been prepared and a place set for each of them. Bewildered, the group sat down and started to eat, and they began to ask questions of the man, including an adolescent boy that was standing in the doorway. The man told him that the boy's name was Isa, and with that, the group was even more bewildered. Isa is a word for Jesus in that part of the world. Frank asked the burning question that was on everybody's mind: "Why did you decide to name him that?" And the man answered, "Many years ago, a man in a white robe appeared to me in a dream, and he told me to name the boy Isa." "Do you know what that name means?" Frank asked. The man smiled and said, "No. But when I had that dream, the man in my dream told me that one day people would come to tell me what that name means. And then last night, the man in the white robe was back in my dreams again, and he told me that I should cook a meal because you were coming to tell me today." Thornton goes on to say that the God of the Old and the New Testaments is showing up in the most desperate, most remote, most unexpected places on our planet today to love extravagantly for his glory, for our good, and for the good of others, and we get to have a part of his work in the world.
As you can tell, we believe in the Great Commission. At WMU, we support missions and pray for missions and do missions and tell the stories of our Southern Baptist missionaries. No one church can do alone what many can do together. Our voluntary cooperation strengthens and extends the missions reach of the local church. We want to help mobilize your churches to be involved in Southern Baptist missions and help you make disciples of Jesus who live each and every day on mission for his kingdom.